Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about the LMD palette. So this is the palette with that Louise MacDonald, a makeup artist, collaborated with BPerfect Cosmetics to make. So yeah, it's kind of like a first impression. It's going to achieve this eye look. So if you are interested to see what I thought about it and how to achieve this, make sure to keep watching. So let's go on to my bare face. Okay, so let's get started. So at the minute I literally just have my eyebrows done and the Il Mask foundation on my skin. So what I'm going to go in with first is the BPerfect concealer. This is concealer here. It is a concealer pen and you just twist it and the product comes out. So that is it there. So I'm going to use this under the eye as well as priming the lid as well. I'm just going to pop that all over, and it is quite yellow, so I'm interested even to see how that blends out. Now yellow reflects the light, so it is good for dark circles, but yeah, let's see what it looks like. So I'm just going to carve out the brow now, using the product that's on my lid and just a flat-headed brush. And then just patting that out. And make sure you get it absolutely everywhere, because this is going to neutralize any of the shades on your lid and it's going to give you like a blank base to work on. And then going in with my foundation brush, I'm just gonna make sure all of that is super blended. Definitely brighten up the area. And it doesn't, once it's all kind of blended and settled on the skin, it doesn't come across as yellow as it does when you first kind of squeeze it out. I'm now just going to set my face. I'm setting it using the banana press powder from Penny's. This is it here, and then just a big brush. And what I've been doing is just like giving it a good swirl and then pressing it into the skin. Okay, so now onto the palette. So this is the palette here. So as you see, you have your shadows, you have a highlighter, a bronzer and a blush tone. So the sculpting shade, as they call it, is quite cool toned. So I'm going to see how that kind of fades out the skin. I don't know whether I'd prefer to go in with like more of a warm tone bronzer and then really contour with that shade, but we shall see. The highlight, it looks absolutely fab, and the blush is a really nice, it's called Peachy, and it is a really nice peachy tone, and it has like a slight shimmer through it, which is really nice. Now the eyeshadow shades are completely down my street. This is why when I seen this palette I really did want to pick it up, and then like the oranges and this red. I don't even think I'm using the red in this look today, but I will because it's really, really nice. I think I'm going to go towards kind of the pinkier tones with a little bit of, I've been like eyeing up purple this week for some reason, so I want to put up a little bit of purple in. But yeah, really liking this palette. Now the one thing that does annoy me about it is the fact that there's no mirror. It would make sense to have a mirror here, seeing as they're advertising the palette as a one-stop shop for everything. You can achieve loads of looks out of it. You have your highlight, your sculpting and your blush in it, so you don't need to carry anything else, but they didn't put a mirror in it. So I just would have thought it would have made sense to put a mirror in it, that's all I'm saying. So I'm going to go onto my skin first and then go back to my eyes because I look like a pancake and it's making me uncomfortable. So going in with my, see, this is where I'm like looking for a mirror, so I'm going to have to like grab my little makeshifty mirror, and I'm going to go in with my Buff and Blend BB05, my fave, and I'm going to pick up that Sculpt shade. So it is definitely more cool toned, but it's blending really well and blending really nicely. Generally with like more of a cool toned, I like to keep it warm and then really sculpt with it, if that makes sense. But this is actually going on quite nicely. Sorry, I'm just looking in the mirror in the back as well. So just hitting all the usual spots. And then the same on the other side. Now, oh, I think I picked up some red in that. Yes, I definitely have. So this is where these palettes become a nightmare, because you don't actually have that much room to dip a biggish kind of brush in. Yeah, I'm gonna have red on this contour. So you're kind of left with smaller brushes. And I just love a big fluffy brush for putting on your bronzer, because I think it just makes life easier with blending, and it gives a more kind of natural finish. But that red is like getting caught in it the whole time. But other than that, I like it. I'm just going in with that skinnier part of that brush and just really chiseling. Them out. So just so you know what I'm talking about, so this is the bronzer shade, and right beside it is that really bright red colour. So when you're kind of like dipping into it, you can kind of dip into the red as well, and that's kind of where it like transfers. Now I'm just going into that blush shade here and just popping on a little bit onto the cheeks. Now some people will smile, but I don't like to smile because I'm a heartless now. Because I find if you smile and you put it on the apples of your cheeks, then when you don't smile, your cheeks drop, so it's like dragging your face down. I rather to keep it up kind of nice and high, and where you want your rosy cheeks to kind of sit, smiling and not smiling. Now going in with that highlight shade here. There's quite a bit of fallout, like if you can see that there. But holy bejesus, it highlights. I don't know if the lights are too bright and it's just washing that out, but it definitely highlights. There is a good bit of, like, I'll show you now. Holy crap. There's a lot of fallout on that. So I'm going to see if you guys can pick up on this fallout. I don't know if you can see it there, but there is quite a bit of fallout. Okay, so the first colour we're going to go into is this one here. This one's called Prinny, and it's kind of like a baby pink kind of tone. And yeah, there's a good bit of fallout in these guys too. Like if you can see that, they're quite falloutish. There's a lot of and I'm just gonna pop that right into that crease there and blend it out. But the colour payoff is fab. Really nice and pigmented. Take a little bit more work to blend. But when it is, it looks really, really nice. So I'm just going to bring that colour under the eye as well. They are trick. I'm looking at that highlight and I can't believe the amount that's actually came out of it. They are, what are they saying? They are trickier to blend. Do you know actually what? They're very like the Subculture palette. You know, there's a lot of fallout. There's great pigment. And they're slightly harder to work with. Just making sure that they connect really nicely on this outer corner here, and then bringing it back in. Just dropping brush size, but I'm still going in with that pretty colour. I just want to build up the depth in the crease a bit more, because the next shade I'm going to go in with is a brown colour, and I don't want to lose this shade. The colour I'm going to go into is Cocoa. I really wish this had a mirror. Okay, this one has like much less fallout. And I'm just going to pop that. You can't even see what I'm doing. I'm just going to pop that on the outer corner and then into the crease. This one doesn't have as much pigment as Prinny. Like, considering how dark a shadow it is in the palette, when you put it on, it's not very dark at all. And as always, just going back in with that previous brush and just blending out those harsh lines. There's no product on this brush now, I'm purely just using it to buff out. In with the Smoky, which is this shade here. Much fallout now in this shade. And then just buffing that into the outer corner. Like so. And under the eye. The previous brush, just going to get rid of that line. I am going with more of a like super smoked out eye anyway, so it being super high to my brow or super winged out doesn't bother me. So I'm just literally looking for that intensity and that depth. Now with that concealer, I'm just going to cut a half crease. So I pop a bit along my lash line. And then I just look up. And then I have the line that I have to trace. When you're doing this, it is easier to look down into the mirror so you can see exactly. So if I was to look straight ahead, I kind of have a crease there blocking it. But if I look down, I have a flat lid to work with. And then just looking up and then looking back down, so you're continuously getting that line. And then I like to just pat that in, and on this side go into this shade here, which is Beam, and I'm gonna pop that towards the inside of the eye. So with a little brush, I'm gonna pick up a bit of that. And this one doesn't have as much fallout as the other products. And I'm just going to pop that right in here. And I'm not going to put this all over the crease. I'm gonna like the half cut crease, I'm gonna like put it like just over halfway. So like if you were to look straight ahead, just like slightly over where your pupil is. I really like this colour, it's lovely. Kind of has like a slight purpley hue to it. I'm now going to go into the shade here, which is Cranberry. And on the same brush, I'm just going to take it from where we stopped with the last shadow beam and just blend that into the rest of the eye. So you kind of get the two-tone blend into the shadow. I'm also going to take that beam colour and just pop a little bit on the inner corners. And I'm actually going to pop a little bit up here on the brow bone. I'm just going to pop some Inglot Gel Liner. This is number 77, their black liner. And I'm just going to pop it to the outer corner of the eye. And just leave it there. And then I'm just going to pop a bit on my waterline. So the next colour I'm going to go in with is Noir, which is this one here. And just picking that up on a small brush, I'm just going to pat that on the outside where the liner stops, if that makes sense. So it's like the liner is blending into the shadow. This black is a really nice black. It doesn't have any grey tones in it, which is nice as well. And it's building up really nicely. And then I'm just gonna take the tiniest bit and just blend it into the underline so it doesn't look like I just have a sharp line of liner on my waterline. So I'm now just going to pop lashes on and lippy and I'll be back. Okay guys, so that is the finished look there. So I really like it. It's quite vampy, really like autumn colours, pinks, purples. Yeah, fab. The lashes are Fleet Cosmetics in Goddess. They're really soft, really fluffy. The lip is Colourpop. It's over there, so I'll link it on my Instagram later on when the photo goes up. And yeah, so what are my final ideas of this palette? So the highlight has a lot of fallout with it. It's quite like it's definitely lost a good amount of product from just using it there today. So did Prinny. And now the rest of them were fine. The shimmers, Beam and Cranberry had great amounts of pigment in it, were really easy to apply to the eye. The Sculpt and the blush really liked. The black was like a black, which is really nice as well. So overall I really like the palette. Yeah, so overall I really like this palette. I can't wait to play around with it and do some more daytimey kind of looks. And yeah, so it's definitely a thumbs up from me. I can't wait to play around with it a little bit more. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and thumbs up. There's like a tick. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys have any more ideas on what you'd like me to see, why can't I talk? And if you guys have any more ideas on what you want to see, what you want me doing, products, do you want me to pick up stuff, review any of the new stuff, make sure to leave them all in the comment below. And yeah, follow me on all my other social medias. If you've done looks with the LMD palette, make sure to send them over to me on Snapchat. And yeah, we can have a chat. See you guys next time. Bye.